everybody, hope all is well and Happy New Year. Welcome back to the ShabinLife 2022. If this is your first time checking out the channel, I'm Dave.
I'm Dana, and we live on 18 acres in northeast Pennsylvania. It's Zone 5B.
After selling our house in the suburbs, we moved into our 14 by 20 off-grid Shabin full-time.
So we've been developing the land since 2017, but our current big project is building our home behind us.
Aha. It is about 10 o'clock this morning. It's about 25 degrees, and as you can see, we got our first snowfall. I'm leaving Dana open for all these opportunities.
I'm with you. I'm with you. So with the snow means we have to clear the driveway because we have a delivery coming tomorrow.
Yes, we have some lumber getting dropped off, and the driveway right now is probably not passable. So we're going to try and start Godzilla and get the rest of the driveway cleared.
Yeah, along with the snow, our canopy that covers a lot of the garden equipment, since we don't have room for it in the shed, collapsed on us, so we'll need to tend to that today. Yeah,
we fixed that once already, so that shouldn't be too bad. More importantly, though, we did get a bunch of wood put up before the snow came, which was probably the most important. We had some wood that we were cutting. My buddy dropped off some wood for me, which was great. Dana was splitting a bunch of the big rounds that we had left over.
I like the log splitter. It's pretty awesome.
Yes. Probably a little too cold to get into using the log splitter right now, but has been awesome.
But as we said, the Shabin itself is 100% off-grid, and we thought today would be a great day to show you how we switch over from the solar and the batteries to the generator to power the Shabin.
So stick around. All right, so we're in the Shabin, and right now the Shabin is running off of the solar, essentially meaning the solar down to the batteries, to the inverter, and then the inverter is supplying the 120 volts to the shed. Before I change over to the generator, let me quickly explain how the shed's wired so that this makes sense. We wired the shed with 6 outlets on the inside and 1 outlet on the outside. They're all wired in one big circle. So we mounted the boxes, we ran the wire, then we installed the receptacles, and we basically started with the receptacle, and that wire went through everything, and then when the last wire came in, it attached to the same receptacle. So one big loop. The receptacle that's outside, we pretty much only use as the feed for the generator. We also needed lights in the Shabin, so the receptacles that are on each side of the door, we simply jumped off of those to light switches, and then those light switches ran to their respective lights. We have 2 lights inside the Shabin that are just 2 simple 4-inch light fixtures with 60-watt LED lamps, and they're perfect for lighting up what we need. We run off the flashlight most of the time. And then the other light switch is for the 4 lights that are outside the shed. And they're really just to light up the yard when we lose the dog or we need to do something crazy at nighttime. But how do we get the electric? Well, most of you guys have seen the solar videos so that you know when we're running off solar pretty much how that works. But how do we backfeed from the inverter or from the generator? It's very simple. It's just with a double-ended male extension cord. How do we use that double-ended cable? Let's show you. And we'll walk you through the changeover to the generator so that you understand how this all works. Let's check it out. All right, so the first step for us in changing over is disconnecting the internet. We're on a WISP, and there can be some weird things that happen with the satellite if you power on, power off, power on, power off too quickly or too many times. It will reset the satellite, and then I got to have somebody come out here, and it's a pain in the backside. So we'll start with disconnecting the satellite. So the second step is making sure that all the rest of the power blocks and everything that's typically plugged in and charging in the Shabin gets either unplugged or turned off. The third most important thing after that is making sure that I don't mess up the next steps, which is turning off the inverter, unplugging the inverter as the feed for the shed. Now that the internet's disconnected, the power's all been shut off, the inverter's been shut off, as well as unplugged from the shed, we're ready to change over to the generator. All right, sun's going down, so it's just about perfect time. Let's get plugged in and changed over to the generator. All right, so this is the receptacle that I was telling you about inside. This is the receptacle we use as the feed for the generator. So we're plugged in. Let's go over to the generator. Whew, it's cold. Funny seeing you guys here. All right, so this is the little generator that we use to power the Shabin. Basically, I'm just going to start this baby up, plug it in, and we should be pretty much good to go. And I hope this thing works. It's been a while since I turned it on. I pretty much just run it in eco mode since we don't really need to do too much in the Shabin. And I mean, this thing will run on like a half a gallon of gas forever. So now we're all plugged in, so essentially we're changed over to the generator now. Let's go in and see if everything works. Woo! All right, buddy. Just in time. It's getting dark out there. All right, if we did everything correctly, we should have some light. All right, all right, all right. So that's pretty much how we change over from the inverter to the generator. Again, the most important thing really is that that plug gets disconnected so that the inverter is no longer connected at all to the Shabin, and it's just being fed by the generator. So the last thing that you saw was the Noco battery charger, the G3500 smart charger. It's connected and doing its thing now. So while we run the generator and we're living in a little bit of luxury, the batteries will get a little bit of a charge so that when we change back over to the inverter tonight, they just get a little bit of boost to help us make it through the night. But that's pretty much it. I mean, that little bit is what we do to change over from the inverter to the generator, and we'll do the same thing to change back over from the generator to the inverter. Feel free to check out Boss of the Swamps page or our channel, because I know he's got a great video on how he wired his in a loop. If you guys have any questions about, you know, how we wired this or how we explained what we did here, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Thank you always for checking out the videos. If you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. We're trying to come out with some better videos and some more stuff about what we're doing around here. But as always, man, we appreciate you guys stopping by. Until then, man, have a great night. Peace. No, stop. You'd be surprised how awful that comes out editing.
I'm Dana.
I'm Dave, and that didn't work.
Sorry, I didn't know where we were going.
I don't know where we're going either. Hey everybody, hope all is well. Welcome back to the ShabinLife. Nope. I am Dave.
I'm Dana.
We live in somewhere out in the middle of somewhere. For those of you who are just stopping by the channel for the first time, I am Dave.
I'm Dana. We live on 18 acres.
I forget my lines. Do over. Come on, Coda.